Hello, and welcome to practice. Today's practice is a deeply grounding flow. We're going to work into using the pelvic floor to help stabilize the rest of the body and really feel and work into the legs. So, today's oil, we're going to use frankincense. Frankincense is a very grounding oil. It's made from the frankincense tree, the resin, the lifeblood of the tree. So, we're going to use that to help us ground down and draw deep roots into the earth, just as we do in our yoga practice. So, grabbing your frankincense oil if you have it. If not, you can use any essential oil that feels grounding to you, or you can also use just your breath. Ground with the breath, no oil needed. I always like to take an inhale of the oil from the bottle and then a couple drops. Frankincense is a high frequency oil to help us uplift and ground at the same time. Rubbing the hands together and then taking 5 deep breaths. If you don't have an essential oil, just take 5 deep breaths with the hands on the legs or on the mat. Couple more breaths here. Once you've taken your 5 breaths, allow the hands to come onto the knees or into the lap. We'll start to work the pelvic floor. This is known as Mula Bandha in the yoga practice. So close the eyes. Breathe into the bowl of the pelvis. Allow it to soften and expand. Then on your next exhale, imagine drawing in both sit bones towards one another and then lifting them up slightly. On your inhale, slowly relax the muscles, release and expand. On your next exhale, we're going to take the pubic bone in the front and the tailbone in the back. Exhale, draw them together, and then a slight lift up. Inhale, completely soften. On your exhale, imagine bringing all 4 of those points together, drawing it in and up. Inhale, soften. Exhale, all 4 points together. Sit bones, pubic bone, and tailbone draw together and up. Inhale, soften and open. Exhale, draw the whole pelvic hammock up. Inhale and soften. Exhale, engage those muscles about 25%. Inhale, soften. On your next exhale, draw the whole pelvic floor in and up. On your next inhale, hold that drawing in, and then inhale into the ribs, into the lungs. Exhale, contract. Use the pelvic floor and the diaphragm to expel the air. Inhale, draw breath into the rib cage, expanding out in all directions. Exhale, lift up. A few more breaths like that, keeping the pelvic floor drawn in and breathing into the rib cage. Couple more breaths like this. Feeling the grounding of the tailbone and the pelvic floor and the lifting up through the spine. And on your next exhale, allow yourself to deepen into the pose. We'll gently open the eyes if they've been closed, fluttering them open. Maintain that pelvic floor engagement as you make your way into your first child's pose. So taking your time, coming into your child's pose. This is a very grounding pose. Helps to open the hips, bringing the mind and the focus down, allowing the third eye to connect. You can walk the hands forward, creating a little traction in the spine. Then allow the sit bones to sink back. A few more breaths here. On your next inhale, we're going to slither forward, coming into your Sphinx pose, letting the legs come out long, elbows underneath the shoulders. Ground down through the pelvis and the legs and lift the heart. Feeling that grounding and gentle heart opening. Couple breaths here. And then on your next exhale, we're going to come into crocodile, stacking the hands, bringing the toes out, allowing the heels to fall in, then bringing the forehead down, allowing us to fully ground and release here. Gently starting our practice before we start to flow and move. On your next inhale, drawing the legs back together, keeping the head down, or you can gently lift it up, engaging the upper back. We're going to work the legs. So inhale, draw the right leg out and then up. Use the hamstring and the glute. Feel that engagement as you keep it lifted for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, bringing right leg down. We'll draw it into the left leg. Inhale, extend left leg out of the hip and then lift it up. Use the glute, use the left hamstring. 5 breaths for 3, 2, 1. Exhale down. Now we're going to do 10 leg lifts each side, starting on the right. Take an inhale, draw some length, and then exhale, lifting it up. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up for 8. Inhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release that side, maybe give the hips a little shake. And let's come on to the other side. So inhale, left leg long, exhale, lift it up for 10. Inhale down, exhale up, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's ground down through the hands. Inhale, lift it up and back. Child's pose, sinking it back. Letting the low back elongate, bringing your tail down. Couple breaths here. Then on your next inhale, we'll lift up and back. First down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. You can pedal out the feet. Really start to feel into the feet here. This is the first time we're stepping onto the soles of our feet in practice. So really feeling those feet. Maybe just the balls of the feet are making contact. And then finding some stillness in your down dog. Couple breaths. On your next inhale, looking forward, bringing the feet forward. Coming into your halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana, hanging out here. Breathing in, long inhales, long exhales. Feel the feet as they're making contact with the mat. Then on your next inhale, engaging the core, rising it all the way up, keeping that grounding down through the feet. Lift the arms high. And exhale, release the hands. Tadasana, finding your Tadasana. All right, we're going to start to move and flow. Surya Namaskara A, Sun Salutation A. Inhale, lifting the arms high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhaling up, exhaling back. 5 breaths and down dog. Settling in. Again, feeling the grounding of the feet. Feeling the grounding of the hands. 2, 1. Inhale, looking forward, bringing the feet to the hands, coming into your halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, rise it all the way up. And exhale, release the hands. 2 more. Inhale, rising it up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhaling up. Exhaling back. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On your next inhale, looking forward, bringing the feet forward, coming into your halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, rise it all the way up, arms up overhead. And exhale, release the hands down. Again, inhaling, rising it up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhaling up. Exhaling back. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On your next inhale, looking forward, bringing the feet forward, coming into your halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, rise it all the way up. And exhale, release the hands by the sides. Tadasana. Grounding down, Surya Namaskara B. Inhaling, Utkatasana, chair pose. 5 breaths here in chair pose. Really feel the feet as they ground down, as the hips start to sink, as flexibility and strength in the leg develops. On your next exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhaling up, exhaling back. Warrior 1, left side. Inhaling, left foot forward, grounding down through the right heel. Inhale, rise it all the way up. A few breaths here. Really feel that grounding into the legs, drawing the energy up the legs and shooting out through the fingers. Last breath. On your exhale, float the hands down, step it back, flow through your vinyasa. Then right foot forward, warrior 1. Take your time to stabilize and then ride the breath up. A few breaths here. Last breath. On your exhale, float the hands down, step it back, flow through your vinyasa. We'll take 5 breaths in down dog. Breathing in. On your next inhale, looking forward, bringing the feet to the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhaling, Utkatasana, chair pose, lift it up, and then exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Again, adding on. Inhaling, Utkatasana, exhale and fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back, lower down, chaturanga. Inhaling up, exhaling back, left foot forward, warrior 1. Once you feel grounded, ride the breath up. Stay here. On your next exhale, interlace the hands back behind you. Inhale, draw some length. Couple of breaths here. On your next exhale, humble warrior, bringing it forward. Left shoulder on the inside of the left knee. Inhale, warrior one. Release the hands, lift them up. Exhale, float it down, step it back. Flow through your vinyasa, or you can always go straight to down dog if needed. Oh, taking a moment here on this side. On your next inhale, right foot forward, step it forward, ground down through the left heel and rise it up, warrior one. Hips square towards the front. On your next exhale, release hands behind you, interlace, lift up. Little back bend and shoulder opener here. Ground down through those legs. On your next exhale, humble warrior. Breathing in here. On your next inhale, rise it up, release the hands, lift them up. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back. Flow through your vinyasa. Few breaths in down dog. On your next inhale, looking forward, bringing the feet forward. Coming into your halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhaling Utkatasana. Exhale Tadasana. Let's add on. Inhale Utkatasana. Exhale and fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back, lower down. Inhaling up. Exhaling back. Left foot forward, warrior one. Step the foot forward, ride the breath up. Exhale, release hands, clasp them behind you. Inhale, draw length. Exhale, humble warrior. On your next inhale, come up halfway. We're going to come forward. Warrior three. Taking your time to come forward. Couple breaths. And then exhale, standing splits. On your next inhale, halfway lift, release right leg down. Exhale and fold. Inhaling Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale Tadasana. Let's do the other side. Inhaling Utkatasana. Exhale and fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back. Flow through your vinyasa. Once you arrive, right foot forward, warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. Ride the breath up. Exhale, clasp the hands behind you. Inhale, draw length. Exhale, forward fold. Take a breath here. On your next inhale, up halfway, bringing it forward, warrior three. Take your time to get there. On your next exhale, release the hands, standing splits. On your next inhale, release left leg, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhaling Utkatasana, chair pose. And exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Take a moment, feel the heart beating and the breath. We're going to take tree pose, a deeply grounding pose. Starting on your left foot, taking your time, bringing the hands to heart center to help cultivate that alignment. Then when you're ready, right foot comes to the inside of the ankle, the shin, or you can catch the foot and bring it all the way up into the inner thigh. Once you have stability and balance, maybe you want to grow your branches. A few more breaths here. On your next exhale, gracefully releasing out of the pose. Maybe take a little rock side to side. Down through the right foot now. So really grounding down. Hands to heart center in the midline. Hug Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha in. Left foot to left ankle, shin, or all the way up into your inner thigh. Find your stability. Find your equilibrium. Find your grounding. And then when you're ready, you can start to grow your branches and breathe. On your next exhale, gracefully release out. All right. Coming back up to the front of your mat. Take a vinyasa. Inhale, lifting the arms high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back. Flow through your vinyasa. Inhaling up. Exhaling back. We're going to inhale. Right leg up and back, three-legged dog. You can bend the knee and stack the hip if you'd like. Open it up. Then we're going to come and do a half pigeon. On your exhale, right knee to right wrist, and then kick the right foot over to the left. If you're super high up like this, you can walk that back leg back. And over time, maybe your right hip stays floated. Maybe eventually grounds down. We want to keep the hips forward. You can always use a block or a blanket to give the hip support if it's floating. And then when you're ready, if you haven't already, you can bow forward. About 10 breaths here. We've moved a lot of energy. Now we start to really ground that energy. About 5 more breaths. On your next inhale, slowly making your way back up, grounding down through the hands, and then lifting yourself up and back. Shake it out, wiggle it out, whatever it is you need to do. And we're going to come onto the left side. Inhaling, left leg up and back, three-legged dog. You can bend the knees, stack the hips. And then on your exhale, we'll come forward and through into your pigeon. Taking your time to get adjusted. Once you feel satisfied, coming forward. More breaths. On your next inhale, bringing the hands back under, grounding, curling the toes under, lifting up and back, down dog. Last down dog of practice. And on your next inhale, looking forward. If you have a jump through, you can do your jump through, or however you'd like to make your way down onto your seat, making your way onto your seat. We'll take Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Ground down through the sit bones. Use that grounding. Pull up the pelvic floor to help lift the rest of the spine. Engage the back muscles. We'll inhale, lift the arms high. And then exhale, bow forward. One more. Inhale, little halfway lift. And then exhale and fold. Allow the hands to come wherever they will. Maybe it's the shins, the ankles, the feet. Allowing the back to be soft. Breathing into your hamstrings. On your next inhale, slowly coming up, we're going to take a reverse table. So bringing the hands back behind you, planting through the feet. On your next inhale, lifting the hips up and back. If it's okay on the head, you can release the head back. A few breaths here. On your next exhale, release the seat down. We'll slowly make our way on to the back. You can hug the knees into the back, maybe give it a little rock side to side. And we're going to come into a happy baby, a really grounding and blissful pose. Grabbing onto the knife edges of the feet. Allowing gravity to open up the deep hip flexors, allowing the knees to sink on either side of the torso and melt towards the mat. On your next exhale, release the pose, hug the knees in again. We'll take a gentle twist, releasing both knees over to the right, extending left arm out to the left, and just breathing. Your next inhale, bringing the knees back through center. And then exhale over to the left. Next inhale, bringing the knees back to center one more time, giving them one last big hug in. And then exhale, we'll come into Shavasana, bringing the legs long and the arms long. Take up space here. Feel all the grounding, allowing your body to melt into the mat. And just be. big exhales. Feeling and breathing all the way down into the feet and up through your feet. Gently starting to bring some movement into the feet, wiggling the fingers and wiggling the toes. Maybe rolling your ankles out one direction and the other. And when you're ready, take a full body stretch, bringing the arms up overhead, the legs come out long. And then exhale, bend into the knees and roll over to one side. Taking one more moment of grounding, bringing your top hand down. Thanking Mother Earth for all that she provides us. Grounding into your top hand and using that to help lift you up to a seat. And then bringing the hands to heart center and bowing your chin into your chest. Thank you for practicing today. Thank you for invoking the grounding energy, and take that with you, even as life gets crazy and chaotic and the to-do list never seems ending. Know that you will get it all done. Take one breath at a time, one step at a time, and trust in the divine timing. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.
Hello, I'm Mallory Reese. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to practice with me and give back to yourself. If you would like to support my efforts in spreading the healing energy of yoga and infusing that with astrology, human design, the gene keys, essential oils, I would love your support. Down below in the description, you can find the links to my Patreon, as well as links to the props that I use. I do earn small commissions for that, but it keeps me being able to pour my energy into offering all of these free classes for you. So thank you again for your support. I am eternally grateful. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye for now.